Hi everybody, it's Alex Tennis. Today we're gonna review the Head Radical MP 2023. Let's go. So the first review that I've made on this channel was the review of the Head Radical Pro 2023, and now I feel like it's time to do the Head Radical MP. I think I never tried a Radical MP in my life, maybe once, but to be honest with you, I don't really remember it. But the main reason why I'm making this review is because I feel like this racket has a lot of hype right now. A lot of people are saying that it's probably the best racket of 2023 and all that stuff, so I had to do a review of this racket. And normally I'm more attracted to the pro version of the Head's racket, but the MP could be also a good option. So let's see if this racket is gonna have, I don't know, maybe a bit more power, a bit more spin maybe than the Radical Pro, because I felt like the Radical Pro was really easy to use, so maybe this one is gonna be even easier to use. So now let's go straight to the specs. So this racket has a 98 square inch head size. This is a 16 by 19 string pattern, and the unstrung weight is 300 grams. So overall, a pretty easy racket to use if we're looking at the specs. Normally, I feel like the Radical are the type of racket that are not doing something incredibly well, but that are doing just everything good. So let's see if this racket is the same thing. And in order to do that, we get to go on the court, so let's go.
Alright, with the Head Radical MP on the court, the first thing that I felt is the fact that this racket is really a control-oriented one. And I didn't really expect this from this racket. Yes, I knew that this racket would be obviously control-oriented, but the thing that I really felt was the fact that, this racket is not really powerful. It's not creating a lot of power. So if you're the type of player that loves to have a control-oriented racket, but that doesn't like or can't play with a heavy racket, this might be one of the best options. Back then, like I said earlier, Radical rackets were the type of racket where they were not doing anything particularly well, but that were doing everything right. For this one, I feel like it's basically it. So if you love the Radical MP for that, yeah, go for it. Definitely a cool racket. For me personally, it's not a racket that I personally enjoyed. I enjoyed a bit more the Pro because it had obviously a better swing weight for my game. On the serve, I had to say it was pretty good for the flat serve. I had a lot of power generating from the speed of the racket because it's a bit lighter, and because of the balance of the racket also. But I had a bit of difficulties with second serve. So for me, this racket was a bit better than the Pro on that side. So yeah, overall just a solid racket, and I really enjoy it.
Alright, so I feel like the Radical MP was not a bad racket. It's a good overall racket, but at the end I felt like the lack of the swing weight was really hurting the power of this racket. And that's something that I found, not really good about this racket, is that I felt like the racket had nothing. And that's the reason why I liked a bit more the Radical Exotic Pro. I would, though, recommend this racket to every player who likes to have a control-oriented racket that does everything well, but that doesn't want that, 315 gram racket. So if you're seeking for a control-oriented racket, but with a 300 gram weight, that's the perfect racket for you. Overall, I think that's pretty much it. We've talked about pretty much what I had to say about this racket. So now let's rate it. So I would grade this racket a bit less than the Radical Pro, so I would give this racket a 7.95 out of 10. So that's it for my review. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.